With the recent ongoing trade wars, there is a major concern that comes in, and this is about rare earth metals. Now, the major problem is the geostrategic location of rare earth elements. Now, these rare earth elements are actually confined in few pockets, primarily in the regions of China, Vietnam, Brazil, and then we could say to a great extent in Russia. And these countries are the major centers for providing the rare earth elements, which are indeed part of most of the things in our day to day life. Now, these rare earth elements, let's understand what they are. So, there are 15 lanthanide series elements, and these are actually some of the majority ones which are considered as important in major technological innovations. Considering this and studying this really is extremely important for your upcoming examination. Now, as we said, the global trade war, this topic has become a major concern. Now, this is the list of 17 important rare earth elements. For example, scandium, this is used in aeroplane industry. You have samarium, which is used in medical industries. Then there is iridium, which is used in microprocessors. Then gallium, which is used in MRI industry. So again, medical innovation. So these are some of the areas in which individual rare earth metals are used, and these are known for their unique electrical, physical, chemical properties, and this distinguishes them from the remaining elements in the periodic table. So these lanthanide series elements become really important and have a major role in, let's say, making permanent supermagnets in laser technology, being used as catalyst for chemical synthesis, and so on and so forth. Now, as we said, with the trade wars ongoing, there is a recent and an urgent need to find alternatives to rare earth element. So what are these alternatives that could be cited, and the major breakthrough discoveries or researches that have been done with these alternatives? So there are four major alternatives that we will discuss in this section, and these are meteoroid magnets, iron nitride supermagnets, bauxite residue, rare earth element reclamation, and designing a structure which is totally free of rare earth elements. So let's talk about them one by one. So the first one is meteoroid magnet. Now, there is a tetranite, which is an alloy of iron and nickel. This alloy of iron and nickel exhibits permanent magnetism, and as we said, lanthanide series elements are known for their permanent supermagnetic properties, right? So this was initially discovered in 1980s, and this tetranite is one of the major sources from meteoroids, and therefore has been called as meteoroid magnet as well. Now, what happens when you are melting iron, nickel? Along with that, there are optional elements that undergo the process, and this could be actually enhanced, or we could say phosphorus could be used as one of the catalysts in the process, which could speed up the reaction to 15 times what it actually would be, and this would help in generation of meteoroid magnets, which are one of the very major important permanent magnetism properties that could be exhibited, right? The next is iron nitride supermagnet. Now, this is again a very powerful supermagnet that can be prepared theoretically, but this is again important to understand that this is twice as strong as the rare earth elements. So with major scientific innovations and development going in, one of the major companies is Neron Magnetis, which is working in this field and has received a significant amount of funding from US Department for Energy's Advanced Research Center, and this has been working specifically on creating iron nitrides, which would be the magnets which would be relatively cheaper and have twice as much as the magnetic capacity that rare earth elements can display. The next is the rare earth reclamation bauxite residue. Now, this is very interesting. Most of the areas where rare earth elements are being mined are the areas which are surrounding the aluminium sites, right? Now, aluminium extraction works through Bayer's process that we already know. Now, in this Bayer's process, what happens when sodium hydroxide goes under pressure, the sodium hydroxide converts the aluminium oxides into aluminium salts, and the byproducts are the impurities. Now, these impurities are actually of no use and are filtered away, and they are called as bauxite residue. Now, this is a brick red appearance, and it is also called as red mud, which is separated in the form of impurity. But this impurity, which is also called as Greek bauxite, can be used as a reclamation point for reclaiming the rare earth elements from it. And these rare earth elements could be reclaimed from the insoluble salts which have been separated after the aluminium salts are separated, right? Now technology needs to work on this. For meteorite magnets, Northwestern University has been working with greater developments, and similar other institutions have been working with bauxite residue reclamation, because aluminium is one of the processes. The Bayer's process is one of the common processes that is being run across the various centers on earth, and therefore if this is one of the methods through which the rare earth elements could be extracted, this could be a viable option. The fourth one is a very important one, and is a superset to all of these, where we say that there is no need to have a rare earth element design. So designing in such a way that entire use of rare earth element can be eliminated from top to bottom could be one of the ways through which we can design the REE free design. Now this is important to understand that there has been technologies working on it, and Mahle is one of the companies which has been one of the largest automotive manufacturers in Germany, is working with a technology which has created highly durable electric motor, which works on the principle of SCT, that is super continuous torque being generated. Now this wear free torque which is generated, or the traction motor design, would be integrated with a peak performance of up to 90%, and this would require no rare earth elements in it. So again, generating designs which could be rare earth element free could be one of the major developments. So as we said, with the ongoing trade wars, rare earth elements and their geostrategic locations have become significant. So working with researchers in line that these rare earth elements could be eliminated or and alternatives could be developed becomes again very, very important. So this was for today. Thanks for joining in. We'll be covering similar important lectures for your upcoming examination. Stay tuned. Thank you.